Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are covering Teresa, the caster for the Crimson Order. Got that very holy Archon look about them, but they are superior. As usual, we'll go over stats, abilities, have a little bit of a play around in the arena and see how these characters are performing at the moment. There are 4 out. We can mix them with the Archons to get a full team since they do have synergy with the Archons. But we'll start to get to see how this team is going to start playing in the game. So let's get into it, covering these stats first. With stats at fully maxed, her hit points come at 19 million, speed 218, armor 181k, magic damage resistance 920k, basic magic damage 2.8 million, magic critical hit chance 47, and magic critical damage 4.8 million. And as usual, here are the more in-depth stats. Feel free to stop, have a look at whatever you want, and use the information how you see fit. So let's jump over to the arena and start testing out this hero. Moving into the arena, we have Teresa's basic ability, Flash. Performs a ranged magic attack on one target. Casts a shield equal to 25% of maximum HP on the allied Archon or Crimson Order member with the lowest percent HP. With the Awakening, damage is increased by 50%. Casts a stronger shield, so the stronger shield is the 25%, I believe. Teresa additionally casts a shield on one random ally from the Archons or the Crimson Order faction. So, not a horrible awakening for a basic ability. The shielding on 2 allies is pretty decent. It's 25% as well. The only downfall is, remember, there's lots of characters in the game that can benefit or just easily dispose of shields. So it's not horrible at all. And if I'm looking at it from a PvE point of view, because I'm a PvE player, not a PvP player, PvP rat, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We'll have a look at the animation. Let's jump over to the correct screen. We're just going to take this down to a nice little 1 times and chuck a nice little bolt of energy. Nothing crazy. There we go. Hit that gatekeeper. You see a nice little debuff on him. That's probably from one of her other abilities because it's nothing from her basic, that's for sure. And yeah, solid. Let's move on to the next skill. Radiant Seal. Cast 4 stacks of an effect, increasing the chance of dealing critical damage by 40% on allied Archons and Crimson Order members. Other allies receive half as many stacks. 1 stack is spent each time they deal critical damage. All allied Archons, Crimson Order members, and the ally with the lowest percent HP, or lowest HP, sorry, receive Radiant Seal for 2 turns. Blocks all incoming debuffs. An enemy attempting to cast a debuff takes damage equal to 40% of Teresa's basic damage. If the enemy had a shield, it is destroyed, and the damage dealt to them becomes critical. If the seal stops working earlier than after 2 turns, then the protection from negative effects is cast on the ally for the same duration. Awakening, high percent of critical damage increase, increased damage taken by an enemy caster. So let's go ahead and look at the ability in action. Probably going to go ahead and slay someone here. Or is this a support ability? Does it do any damage? I can't remember. Already forgot. There we go. Slap that massive, big, fat gatekeeper. And as you can see, shields are stacking up quite quickly on this faction. It is a shield faction, just like their brethren before them. The Archons, they were heavily influenced by shields back in the day. This is just another step up on how effective that shielding ability is, since they are technically Archons. They're Archons, they're just fancier Archons. So yeah, next ability. Up next, we have Seal of Protection. Cast 2 stacks of an effect, reducing damage taken by 60% on all allied Archons and Crimson Order members. Other allies receive half as many stacks. 1 stack is spent each time damage is taken. All allied Archon, Crimson Order members, and the ally with the lowest HP receives a Seal of Protection for 2 turns. Shield damage is reduced by 30%. If an ally with the Seal of Protection takes damage, other allies receive a shield equal to 10% of their maximum HP. If other allies take damage, the ally with the Seal of Protection receives a shield equal to 5% of their own maximum HP. If the shield stops working earlier than after 2 turns, then the ally receives shield equal to 30% of their own maximum HP. Awakening this ability at the start of the turn or at the start of the battle. Teresa uses this ability out of turn. So it's instantly cast at the beginning of the fight, and it's just giving a lot of shields. Huge amounts of shields. So she casts the stacks of protection, the seals of protection, right off the bat. That's nice. I like when abilities are just auto cast straight off, but again, it's just like I said, it's the Archon's Super Saiyan mode. This is them at their absolute peak, what they should have been. I mean, their strength is probably equal to what the Archons were back in the day as well. So yeah, cast 2 stacks of effect damage, reduces damage taken. So you're instantly getting damage reduction off the bat. Allied Archons, Crimson Order members, lowest HP. So this ability is actually on cooldown. Yeah, so that's how it works. It's cast instantly and goes on cooldown, so you are not using it for a few turns because it's just instantly used. But of course, that's the awakening effect, so quite powerful. I think this is definitely a high priority awakening if you use this hero. Checking out the animation of the ability, we'll lower the speed again, and yeah, nice. Big ring around, a big, oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful animations. You've always got to respect the animations. And yeah, we'll move on to her final skill. Jumping into the passive, we have Priestess's Amulet. Buckle in. Buckle in, because this is a lot. There is a lot going on. So, Teresa can cast buffs ignoring bans and blocks. Whenever an allied Argon performs an additional attack or attacks additional targets, Teresa casts a shield on a random ally equal to 33% of their maximum HP. When allied Argon takes lethal damage, he will instead drop to 1 HP, and Teresa will cast a shield on him equal to 40% of his maximum HP and cast Radiant Seal irrespective of its cooldown. Only triggers once every 4 turns. Gains 1 amulet each time she uses special abilities, up to a maximum of 3. Loses all amulets if 3 or more debuffs land on her. The number of amulets is saved between rounds. If Teresa has 1 amulet, then when using special abilities, she deals a ranged magical damage to all enemies, equal to 35% of her basic damage for every allied Archon and Crimson Order member. If she has 2 amulets, then, when any seal deactivates, she deals ranged magical damage to all enemies equal to 100% of her basic damage. If she has 3 amulets, then when using special abilities, she casts a shield equal to 30% of their maximum HP on herself and 4 random allies. Let me just get through all this. We're nearly there, ladies and gents. Awakening. Teresa starts the battle with 1 amulet. Increased damage when using special abilities. Increased damage dealt when the seals deactivate. Increased shield and number of allies on whom it is cast when using special abilities. We got there. Now let me tell you, from someone who has a slight stutter when talking, trying to get through all that in one go took more takes than it should have. That's a lot. That is a lot. There's a lot going on there. Oh my golly gosh. Oh my golly gosh. Yeah. Yeah. Amulets are good. She does more damage. She works with Argon. Now, as you can see, I have him in the team. We are going to verse a faction yet to be decided. Hang on, I'll pick it in a second. Win or lose is irrelevant. We just want to see how they're going to start performing now that we've got 4 of the 5 characters available. But Argon, a very interesting choice of character to use, because in the Archon age as well, Argon was typically the weakest of the 7 Archons released. Even, I don't actually, that's not true. I believe he would be on par with Steris. Even though they had nice kits and they had a bit of synergy compared to their brothers and sisters, they just did not perform to a level that the others could. So it's very interesting that they've picked him specifically to synergize with Teresa. So we're going to use him to see how effective he is. If he, honestly, to be 100% honest, it doesn't even feel like we're using him for him. It feels like we're using him to trigger parts of Teresa's passive. So again, we'll see. We're going to go up against what I consider currently the strongest squad in the game, the Chaos Spawn. Like I said, win or lose, doesn't matter. We're just here to see how the team performs. So let's jump into a battle. Jumping into battle. Let's see what's going to go on here. We've got big shields already. That's nice. Now remember, the Chaos Spawns are, I think, the only faction that actually gets huge boosts in Arena or PvP. I think it's just Arena. Tournament and Arena when they are awakened. So, yeah. Just keep that in mind. So Argon hides when he's critically hit. That's what his passive does. This is the ability that can strike multiple enemies. So we're going to go ahead and attack the Sid. Does not do a lot of damage. Okay. Big King Kong smash. Gets a lot of damage out. And yeah, honestly, I think maybe Sacrif would be a better replacement over the Argon. Because look at all these debuffs she could purge and then protect. Debuffs are a big part of the Chaos Spawn. Like, they're just slowly tearing through. Alright, so which one do we want to use? This is going to get rid of buffs. Big damage coming. Gets rid of shield. We lose Teresa. Yeah, it's just they're very hard to break through. Very hard to break through. Now, I did test this in a PvE setting, and they didn't do too bad against the Chaos Spawn. But PvP, I think PvP, the Chaos Spawn are still the supreme leaders at the moment. There is still the 5th character missing from the Crimson Order, but this is very difficult to break through. Very difficult to break through. Like I said, I think Sacrif would be a better character to use over the Argon, since she can purge or cleanse debuffs and she can protect from debuffs. I think that is much more valuable than what the Argon can offer in that situation. There you go. That is